أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I would like to share something with Muslims living in Fukuoka in particular. Why I do this through video? Because I feel this point needs to be highlighted as soon as possible, because it has some impact on some of us who like to go to masjid and pray there. However, we don't get the peace of going to masjid. Not only myself, but there are several people also have the same problem. I remember 2-3 years ago, one brother from some people, they don't like people to say countries, but I don't know how you can put it, because people may just say that you're just lying if you don't give any evidence. So one brother, I know his name, but I will not I will not say his name. But two brothers, both of them from Indonesia, and I also know several brothers from Arab countries and other countries. We go to masjid, but we don't feel peace. We feel there is something fear. There is something, we have to be very careful a lot when we go to masjid. Even some Japanese also, one Japanese told me the same thing as well. I have the names. Again, I repeat, if you need the names, just call me. I will give you the name in order to remove doubt whether the information is right or wrong, because actually some of us, when we send some critics, people may say line, but actually they say line, not just to get information, but just to stop the information. However, if during this short talk, I say maybe somebody, again, just contact me, I will let you know the name after personally. So this atmosphere of fear exists, and one of the ways to continue making fear in masjid is through shouting time to time. I think some brothers who attended frequently Salatul Tarawih, they could notice, or even though they are not punctual like some of us in Fukuoka Masjid, already spent maybe more than 8 years, about 8 years. They saw that this kind of shouting, but actually this is not something new. Even no Ramadan, several times there is a shouting in masjid, and sometimes people like to heat, and sometimes you see really noisy and some kind of fear. In Arabic say tarhib, tahwif. This kind of atmosphere exists. So because these things are happening frequently, of course people go, but if you go to another area, somehow you may feel a little bit somehow different. If you compare with the Fukuoka Masjid, where you can still have fear, mostly when how to say, you are worried, especially if there are many people come to Salat and you've been attacked and abused, humiliated, things that some of us have experienced several times there. So this problem should be fixed, but who will fix it? I mean, if you let it like this, it will continue. So as Muslims, we have to fix it. So if you are in Fukuoka, you have to know that you are responsible to fix this, because this problem has consequences. The main consequence is not only people will not go to masjid, the Jama'ah will be smaller, but people will go to different organizations, especially undergraduate students. If they come to Fukuoka Masjid, they saw this kind of style and atmosphere. They have many other options. There are many organizations, international organizations, here in Fukuoka. And mostly if you go to those kind of organizations, you feel very comfortable. You see people are easygoing, and you see flexibility, even though they have programs, or they point out committee. So you will see that things are somehow in a good way compared to our Muslim community. So this is again to repeat, that's your responsibility. Maybe you may say, no, there are some people who are there and this and that. No, actually, I know because I have experience, and I was one of the leaders in the beginning before having differences about how the organization is run. Yeah, but actually, nobody has anything extra to show that I am the one who is in this masjid because no, we are all equal. I mean, nobody has been given this masjid by his parents as in inheritant stuff or yani wiratha or nothing like that. We are all equal. So in that case, if you agree about that we are equal, we have to resolve this problem because it causes really serious problems. It doesn't matter how many times you will repeat about salat, salat, salat. If you go to masjid, you don't feel peace, you will not go. And this is one problem. Some people, they think like, Muslims do not know the importance of salat. No, I think at least more than 90% of Muslims, they know how important salat is and how important jama'ah is. But people do not go to masjid because of lack of knowledge, mostly. Yeah, maybe some people, they say maybe busy, but there are some people, they may like to go to masjid because the attractiveness, the atmosphere, people feel very happy if you go. But if you find out that the place for salat, it's little bit, there is a fear, so people will not go. And the people who cause this kind of fear get in sins if people do not go to masjid. And that's why you have to be very careful if you want to, to be activist in a masjid. Be sure that you don't make people get up, because if you do so in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll be asked for that. There are several cases. I want to highlight them, but I will try to just go through and focus on some maybe arguments that will help you to understand the importance of changing the system in masjid, and how it is necessary for us to take some actions. One of the problems is the website, no website, but we have some mailing groups before. There is some Muslim old, but now maybe are not active enough. Maybe you may have some Facebook, or you may have some Viber. Some of us who really oppose the system used to send some message to show how bad the situation is. By the way, when I say how bad thing is going on, some of us, we try to avoid criticizing except the organization itself. If it happened that sometimes we target somebody, sometimes you will find that we have been targeted. I mean, somebody attacks you, and then you just find yourself attacked, even though it's not good. But this is the point. But mainly we criticize the system, and we criticize the way the organization is run, actually. So those kind of groups, Facebook, and when we try to do that, we have been blocked. Actually, some of us, we are not, for example, members. So we have some other groups, Facebook, and we sometimes send some messages showing things going in the wrong direction. Things have to be like this, like the case. This is case number one. The case of Zakatul Fitr. The Zakatul Fitr has been decided by the Imam in Foka Masjid to be 300 yen. And actually, a few years ago, or many years actually, 1,500 have been decided by Muslim scholars in Japan. And the Fukuoka Masjid committee, or whoever who is taking such kind of decision, he should go and have discussion with the others, and try to make contacts with some scholars in Japan, and discuss, actually, in order to have the same amount, instead of just believing that only Fukuoka Masjid, where the Zakatul Fitr is the 300 yen, and all Masajid 1,500. So in that case, I strongly oppose this idea. And then this month, July 4th, I went to masjid, and then the imam followed me. Maybe it's the fifth time, shouting and kind of attacking, but he did not really hit, because I told him when he started to speak very louder and make some noisy and stuff, like, I told him, don't touch, because he knows the rule in Japan. If you touch, you hit somebody, you have gone. So don't touch my body. He did not touch, actually. But this so frustrated, this kind of shouting. Uh, and by the way, again, want to make one comment about the shouting things in masjid. Somehow, some of the brothers and sisters do not really attend salat or masjid during those conflicts. But this is how it's happening. You may be in masjid, and then something happens, as I say, like the adhan, or somebody wants to make adhan, and some people who feel they are the only one who have right to ask people to make adhan, so that they could just attack and make some noisy and blah blah. It's something that was supposed to be resolved in a very easy way, or outside of this kind of atmosphere that a person may feel humiliated or abused. And this kind of situation may make the person to never go to Fukuoka Masjid anymore. But the point is, when this kind of noise happens, sometimes you may feel really, you don't understand why, because you just feel sometimes people have been attacked, and you heard somebody, he raised the voice, this, he mentioned the names of X. And I tried to identify why. I mean, the name is shout. I mean, there is somebody always wants to shout. And I came to know a very interesting, information. Actually, there is a kind of attempt, to destroy somebody's image. But I'm not sorry to say myself, that many people know. Not only myself, but I remember there is one sheikh, a Japanese sheikh. He wanted to be imam in Fukuoka Masjid, and then the same situation. They has been, abused, actually, his image, and he knows that. So this kind of trying to abuse or destroying somebody's image is a kind of political tactics used by some people. So mention the name. Actually, the aim is to send the message to ladies in the second floor who are not really watching what is going on, in the first floor. I mean, where the main floor, where male are praying. So when, for example, the brothers, because it's kind of political game, they mention them, X, they want to send message to ladies, so that ladies, they will say, this is the same person, and then they will propagate it outside of the masjid, that X did this, and actually they did not see. But I want to talk to especially the sisters or brothers who may be in the basement. For the sister, try to ask your husband exactly, because actually sometimes nothing. Somebody can just be in attack, and another person started to shout name, and start to shout the name of the person. I mean, and then in order to show to the people who are not there that there is a problem, and actually somebody has been attacked without any really reason to do that. And then, after this kind of strategy, there are other strategies to try to destroy somebody's image, but I don't have enough time to show that because it's not very important. They did these things almost 8 years. They did nothing. Life continues, happy life, and no problem at all. So they're just losing their time. But unfortunately, this kind of political tactics used in masjid against somebody, or making people far away from the masjid. Yeah, so this is just one case. The other case, maybe the reason of this kind of noisy is showing power. Powerful person in this. As I told you, been attacked in this July uh, masjid, but the point that the imam left and then went to some corner and make the noise in order to send a message. He did not attack, in the little bit where the Muslims are, because they can see that I've been attacked, as I've been attacked several times. But he went some little bit far so that the noisy can come, and then people will come and say the guy is the one who did. In fact, this is what happens when people run and come and they attack me, because that is what he wanted. He wanted to send message that the one did, so he tried to bring me to another place in order to make the shout, and then people will come and hit. But Alhamdulillah, nobody hit. But one guy just violently take me, and actually I was taking my shoes and leave the masjid. This kind of injustice, or this kind of abusing and quickly make the propaganda in the opposite way, are frequently repeated. But because some of us really enjoy, because we feel like this is very good to learn how different nationalities or different regions react. They do like this, they have their own strategies. We learn, actually, especially as our field of study is this area. Anyhow, this is how things are happening in Fukuoka Masjid. The other case is actually is almost the same. Somebody, as maybe I said before in a different video, you come to masjid, and then the time of adhan comes and you want to make adhan, you may get somebody come and jump on you, very noisy and violent, and you feel like you have been attacked. This has happened to one brother from Pakistan, subhanallah. That was really bad. He's I think he's about maybe 59 or 60 years old, and it was really nice guy, comes to masjid. Before that, I have been personally attacked as well, but myself several times. So this kind of atmosphere of attacking, I don't know why some people think like this, but should be fixed. So what is the solution to fix it? I think you are waiting for that. Actually, my solution is a little bit maybe rough, because this kind of conflict or attacking is because of the system itself is ambiguous, is misunderstood. So that's why it will be necessary if Muslims community help the idea of having a Japanese Muslim. This is a shortcut solution. Maybe we may find out different solutions later. To have one Japanese Muslim to be the president of our masjid, and look for another Japanese Muslim to be the imam, and look for another Japanese Muslim to be the staff in charge for cleaning the masjid. If we could reach this goal, I think we may find out a solution to come up in a way that we may try to establish some kind of laws, some qanun, that will help the communities to be equal and people to feel more comfortable. Why I'm saying that it will be great if we could find out a Japanese Muslim to be the president of the Muslim community first. I mean, in the beginning, as a transit period of trying to look for a good way Muslim communities can enjoy here in Fukuoka. Japanese Muslims, actually, we know them, the guys. MashaAllah, they're very good, and of course, it's impossible them to make any noise. But the approach is so flexible, and it's easier for other communities really to cooperate. About the imam, why, for example, he must be Japanese, as I said before. Many Japanese do not learn anything in Fukuoka Masjid because of their English capability is low, and this is their own countries. This is their own country. If you go to France, it's impossible to find out imam who doesn't speak French. If you go to America, yeah, but we have to do this. And actually, we have now more than 6 brothers, Japanese, who graduated from Medina, some masajid in Muslim, some universities in Muslim countries are in Japan. And mashallah, of course, these brothers may play a great role. So please, let's go in by this way. We try to look for Japanese Muslim to be imam here. Yeah, probably we may again try to find out how we can, but this idea needs to be supported by all Muslims in Fukuoka. So please try to think about it. Because again, I want to repeat, there is a problems in lots of noise, lots of problems. We have to fix it. And we have to build our Muslim community. We have especially the brotherhood and the relationship between communities are really bad. You don't see even integration at all. People are watching themselves as enemies, and actually they're supposed to be very, very close. Indonesian, Malaysian, Egyptians, and Algerians, and Palestinians, and Bangladesh, and Pakistanis, and Central Asians, some of us Africans and Americans. We're supposed to, to be closer compared to others at least. But this doesn't happen. We fail to create a kind of integration. So if inshallah we could have a Japanese imam, I think this might be a good way to establish a good community. The Japanese imam will be able to listen to us, will be able also to share information, because the education system in Japan is more about flexibility and listen to others compared to our academic or our education system back home. So about the staff to clean the masjid to be a Japanese, this is because there are some high techniques needed to be done, and all those techniques are connected to the Japanese culture. When I was in An-Nur An-Nur Center in Niigata, there is one Japanese brother in charge. So he has some techniques foreigners cannot do. For example, in Ramadan, he visited neighbors, and he put some kind of lightning style in the masjid in Ramadan. He does a lot of things that we don't know. We don't do this in our countries, but they know deeply. So if at least the job of the staff in masjid, cleaning the masjid and check neighbor. We have a Japanese brother. I think the worry that neighbors have against us may be reduced. Of course, in collaborating with the imam and the president. So please, I emphasize again that the staff to be a Japanese is necessary. I think you are aware that the image of Muslims in Fukuoka is the worst. If you compare to other communities, is the worst. Even there is one journalist wrote in one shimbun. If you need information, you can contact me later. He made some interviews. He went through neighbors to ask our presence, and nobody likes us almost. They hate. There are maybe other reasons. Some of the people who are leading the masjid who may want to run away from responsibility, they will say, nah, because people are coming. No. The problem is that we have bad management system. We don't have a good style. Means the responsibility is under the committee. The committee doesn't do well, and actually the mistake related to the neighbor, is connected to the beginning of the masjid, because the neighbor, they have days clean. They have cleaning day. I attended one once, and then maybe four years ago, I saw the people are cleaning near the masjid, and then I was driving and I left my car, and then I joined them. I had a chance to discuss with the leader. I say, "Wow, mashallah," and I talked with him, and then he discovered to me that during that period, the masjid people never joined them. So they have the anger long time ago, because this kind of community activity is very important in Japan. If at least we have these three people are Japanese, from the beginning, or even though we may change, they may teach foreigners who may take responsibility how to deal with neighbors. But unfortunately, Muslims from the beginning, they did not attend this cleaning day. That's the beginning of the hatred or dislike from the Japanese neighbors against our masjid. So the image of Muslim is bad, and we have to fix it as soon as possible, and we have to resolve this kind of fear atmosphere in masjid. And the solution, the short solution, please listen this carefully, the short way to get a solution is to have the president to be a Japanese, and the imam to be a Japanese, and the staff to be a Japanese. If we don't do that, I don't know, there is a possibility that the masjid may shut down, because yes, even though some meetings took place, but Japanese, when they started to attack a person, you may never know when a rough or tough decision will be taken. You may just heard and you said that the masjid Fukuoka has been closed down for a while, and it's possible to happen. So let's quickly take some action as soon as possible in order to resolve this problem. Please, let's remove the noisy and these conflicts and stuff through this strategy. We quickly make some, no pressure, but talk among communities, Indonesian communities, Malaysian community, Indonesian community, Malaysian community, Pakistani community, Bangladesh community, Egyptian community, and other minority communities. Please, let's think about it. Let's quickly take action before things are getting worse. Again, the president of the masjid means the one who is really president, because somehow you may be confused, but no need to go there to explain to you the different committees in masjid. Maybe we may discuss another day. But the real president, right now, the president is Haj Nabil. So we need to change him and to have one Japanese. And the imam is brother Nuruddin. So we don't say they're bad. No. There is something happening, so we have to take quick action. Nuruddin is the imam. We have to look for solution and to ask for a Japanese imam we can find out to be here in order to educate the Japanese who are more than 30 here in Fukuoka, and we don't see them in masjid, unfortunately. And one of the reasons is the language barrier. And then also there is brother Ishaq, who is mashallah is doing a good job in Fukuoka masjid, but the job is more than his capability, because it's not really easy. So we're replacing him to another Japanese. If we do that, we will find our solution to reduce the tension between Muslims in Fukuoka and the neighbor. If we don't do that, what's the point of going to school? What is the point of being educated if we cannot find out the solutions of our problems? أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. If there is something wrong, please forgive me. If you feel like I attack somebody, no, I didn't really want to attack, but I just have something I want to share with you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.